Good evening. I'm your host, Noel Clubb, here on the Club Tracks TV show. And welcome to Spanish Sports World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app from the respective iOS and Android app stores, as the app is absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave a comment, simply because we want to hear from you folks. That's all. That's all we want to hear from you folks. And of course, Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku and Roku sticks are also available on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. All right, welcome all the viewers at home watching this show. And let's introduce, of course, our very cool and awesome co-host of Club Tracks. And he is the lead singer and guitarist of New York City's classic rock band, The Handful. Please welcome the one and the only Mark Cool Dude Duda to the show. Welcome, Mark.
Evening, gents.
Good evening, Mark.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So, Mad Invasion, where you guys at now? It looks like you're in a studio. Is that a home studio, commercial studio? Where are you guys at?
It's our own dedicated Mad Invasion studio. So this is where we recorded the album, and we're actually recording the new one as well. So this is
very cool.
Happens.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very nice studio.
All right, man. Let's get into it.
You're on, man.
Yeah.
So without further ado, here we go. They are a hard-driving Swedish rock band influenced by 70s rock with a modern approach, with a slick and sick ambient keyboards and soundscape. In September, they'll be releasing, of course, their debut album, Edge of the World. Please welcome Sweden's very own Mad Invasion to Club Tracks. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So officially, we have Pete Sandberg on vocals here on the show, and we have Hal Mirabel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
On the far side, plays guitars and keyboards in Mad Invasion, and Bjrn Delberg, the guitarist of Mad Invasion.
That's
So
me.
welcome officially, boys. Welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So yeah, we're all kind of commenting before the show how you guys are in the studio right now. What a beautiful studio you got there, by the way, and as a backdrop here.
It's actually specially designed for Mad Invasion. So everything is built around that. Isn't that right, Bjrn?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
say that.
you can say that, yeah.
So the customized studio for you guys. Beautiful. Excellent.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
So right now you guys are working on the second record, you're saying?
Yeah, the first album took a while, to find the sound and to establish, the right kind of approach. So we felt that once it's out, we don't want to keep fans waiting too long. So we actually just went right to work. The flow's there, so we said just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. So you guys are also commenting. So the next record, what's going to be the plans? Going to be kind of the same as the first record that we're talking about here tonight, or maybe some further changes to the sound?
We're discussing about maybe we should do a concept album, right? More heavier and a little bit more darker, I think, anyway.
Yeah, but
Like
still melodic.
But still, of course, in the Mad Invasion vein with a melodic twist, yeah?
Yeah, heavy but still melodic.
Yeah.
With a heavy storyline. Good against evil.
Yeah.
Always.
Light against dark. Yeah, right on. So you guys are growing up in Sweden. Tell us first of all, who's your earliest musical influences growing up in Sweden?
For me, I would like to say David Coverdale, of course.
David Coverdale from Whitesnake.
David Coverdale was
Deep Purple.
by him, and also Ronnie James Dio, of course.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
All the way back to when he played in Elf, even before the Rainbow era and like.
Is that even before Rainbow?
Yeah, way back. I think it was his first band, Mark. Elf. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Coverdale and Ronnie James Dio, of course. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think we have a bit of a different background there. I mean, we all gather around the classic rock, of course, because that's the main part of it. For my part, it's a lot about the melodic side as well. So, I mean, being from the U.S. originally, I grew up with Boston, Kansas, and these guys, and which turned into kind of the more commercial Def Leppard kind of those bands, Van Halen, of course, and so. And I don't know how's for you, Bjrn.
Well, I'm a little bit older than these guys.
Yeah, he is. He's much older.
For me, it's Sabbath, Nazareth, UFO,
UFO.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on. Right on.
It's funny you say that because I definitely heard some UFO in there.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Ronnie Dio every time you sang an intro, brother. I heard the White Snake in there. So this all makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, busted.
It's cool,
Busted
bro.
old
I mean,
count.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I hear the same influences too throughout the record, and yeah. Once again, guys, I mentioned you guys earlier before the show started about how I have to think long and hard. Last time I heard a record as a debut record, this solid from start to finish. That's just really this powerful stuff, and as I said, there's no filler. It was all killer, and superb debut record. Awesome.
Thanks.
Definitely awesome. So how do you guys all meet? How did the whole band basically form?
Well, I know Bjrn for about 30 years, Bjrn. I think 30 years, odd some.
30 years now.
We met in the States. He was recording an album there with the singer. And Hal, we met back in 89, I think, at the Swedish Grammy. Yeah. So we've known each other for many, many years, but this is the first time we worked together as a band.
Gotcha. Right? I see.
Yeah.
We've been part of the same rock community for ages, of course, and known about each other, but it felt that finally it was time to do something actually together as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So before the band got together, what was your experience like in the music scene in Sweden before you guys formed?
I mean, the scene in Sweden has been quite good up until, some years before the COVID and all of that. I mean, that affected us all, of course. But there were quite some clubs around, both around.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So we've been doing that.
Yeah.
Those.
It's been pretty good. Yeah.
Is it more like a rock scene over there in Sweden? Like what's kind of like the more the popular genre that you guys experience back home?
The live scene has always been the rock.
Rock scene.
Yeah, rock scene. Yeah, small clubs and bigger clubs and stuff like that. So, rock scene, I would like to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go see something, it's more fun to see.
The bands, of course. Yeah, I think so.
Although we have the big pop artists, of course.
Oh yeah.
But the rock is still going strong.
Yeah,
sure.
It is.
No, very good. Because I mean, you're also the home of ABBA, so I mean, that must have
of course.
Part of the culture too, I'd imagine, right? Yeah, I would imagine so. Well, over to Mark, over to the co-host here.
Yeah, hey brothers. So yeah, very cool album. Now, as I was listening to you guys, I came across a video that I think has been out for like 4 years or something, and I was curious as to, have you been working together for 4 years on this record, or have you guys been doing other things? How have the last bunch of years been for you guys?
What do you say?
I mean, the album we started working with more seriously and more focused in 2018.
Okay.
But the band started in 2016. We brought the guys together.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just Bjrn and me who put the band together, and we wanted to try it out, right? Because Bjrn and I, we known each other for many, many years, and I also recorded some albums in Bjrn's old studio. So we just tried it out, and it fit together pretty good. So we took a little time to think about how we're going to proceed from this Hold On song, and that's when it took off and Bjrn contacted Hal, and we needed some reinforcements with Hal's program and his contemporary view of things. So that's how it started, Bjrn, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hold On was like a song just for fun, just to try
it out, see what happens.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, it's got a big hook to it. It's commercial. It seemed like the more recent stuff is a little bit heavier than that. And I definitely hear the White Snake, I hear the UFO, I hear the Ronnie Dio, I hear all that stuff. I think some of the keyboard textures modernizes what you guys are doing a little bit.
You're spot on.
Yeah, right on. I really appreciate the record. Now, what were you doing in terms of singing prior to Mad Invasion? What projects were you singing in? What other groups have you been with? And I'll get to all you guys, but I'm a vocalist. I'm a front man, so I'm always interested
Well, I'll answer your question, Mark. I've done 20 albums, many solo albums, a band called Jade, a lot of stuffs. So different stuffs over the years. Have to pay the bills, you know, have to work, have to go out playing live. So I've done a lot of stuff musically with albums and bands and stuff. So I can't remember them all, but I played with a lot of great Swedish musicians like Noel played on one album, Kim Marcello on one album, Hempo Hildén from Old Trash.
Okay.
I worked with a lot of great guys, Magnus Rosén from Hammerfall. So all these guys I used to work with, you know, over the years. I started out when I was a young kid. So I've been around for a long time.
Very cool. They remind you, those are some same acts. I mean, I play with Bobby Rondinelli. He's been on the show. He plays drums for us. And I know he played with Doro and a lot of the same scene. He's playing with Axie Rudy Pell now. But now you had mentioned that that the scene in Sweden is still receptive to the type of melodic rock you're doing. What I notice in the States, from my standpoint, is a lot of us in the hard rock space, we're sort of getting together and doing shows with many bands, not even just festival shows, but tours and cruises where 5 or 6 similar bands will get together in order to play the big rooms. Has it occurred to you guys? Now I'm in New York, Noel's in Toronto. So are we going to see you in this side of the world? And are there any bands that you might be interested in playing with?
Yeah,
the plan is to this winter to start up in Sweden just to try out the songs and the new show and everything, and then to go out and start playing gigs during spring and summer next year. And what we're actually looking at is exactly what you're saying, to team up with some other bands as part of the sort of the mix and do something together, because that'll, you know, take the entertainment through the whole night.
Yes.
But I'll try to hook up with, you know, like a bigger band and be support act. There are some interesting ones in discussion. So I think that next year we'll see some things happening on that scene for sure.
Very cool. And it's a great way to sort of cross-pollinate and share fans, you know? What about the rock cruises? Do you guys have any thoughts of doing any of those sort of things? Are you open to it?
Yeah, we haven't really thought about that one.
No, I haven't.
Have any of us been to a rock cruise?
No, I haven't been to a rock cruise. I read about it though, but I've never been.
There's a lot of that going on in the States, which is why I asked the question, because it seems to be a viable option for a lot of hard rock bands over here. Now, in terms of gear, I want to get into the gear a little bit. Bjrn, in terms of guitar, what do you like? Are you endorsed, or do you just you a Gibson guy, a Fender guy, an Ibanez guy? What type of guitars do you like to play?
I always use Gibson guitars.
Right on.
Bad sound. I have some Ibanez guitars too, but it's Gibson for me. I don't.
You like to play a less?
I like the sound. I started with a Flying V. Like Michael Schenker. I like the sound.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I continue with Gibson guitars.
And you consider Michael Schenker to be an influence of yours?
Yeah, I can say that. He's a great
absolutely. Scorpions at all too?
Yeah, that too.
Of course. Yeah, when I listen to your stuff, I'm hearing it through sort of the prism of what I know. So I feel like I hear some of that.
You hear lots of that.
Yeah,
I grew up with it, so that's the way it is.
Terrific. Now, what about in terms of keys? Now, are you strictly a synth guy? Do you play acoustic piano? Do you write on the piano? What are because your contribution kind of takes the band in a little bit out of the ordinary. So I think it's interesting. I want to get into a little bit of what you play when you write and when you're on stage.
Interesting question. I can't play the piano, in fact. So I'm a computer guy, and I've always been. Since they came, basically.
Interesting.
So I sort of developed a way of playing the keyboards with help of the computer. But I've done it for a long time, and I also have my other band, Bad Habit, which is a lot more keyboard based. So I have quite a lot of experience there. So I felt that we felt that, like you say, to mix with this more classic rock sound, to make it a bit more contemporary, and to dress it, a bit differently. There's some very interesting avenues to explore there for sure. So I work a lot with the Nexus, the B Station. What else? A lot with the Nexus, actually. That's one of my favorite.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. And are you guys now, in terms of the production and the arranging and everything? Let's get into that. Are you self-produced? Do you work with a producer?
No.
We do everything by ourselves.
Yep, everything.
You do. Okay.
We do ourselves. Yeah. No producer and no sound engineers or nothing else. We keep it in-house.
We're the producers.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're the producers and the sound engineers and everything.
Very cool. All right. Since you have an album, your album drops in a couple of weeks, right? September
24th. Yeah.
Do you plan to, now you say you're getting into another album, do you plan to crowd test the new songs and see what reaction the fans have to you, do them live before you select what you record?
No.
Okay, so you pretty much know what you're gonna put on it already.
Well, let's put it like this. I mean, if the people that like this album will like the second one as well.
All right.
It'll be a bit more to dig into, a bit deeper, but the concept will be the same, and the sound is going to be there. So they're gonna recognize.
They're gonna love it. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's going to be like this, but better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right on. All right, back to you, Noel.
Certainly. Yeah, good answer there for sure. So I'm going to terms of songwriting in the Mad Invasion. So what's the songwriting process like in the band?
Well, Bjrn come up with a riff, right? And he explores that riff and he presents it to me. And I get some ideas about lyrics. Bjrn also has some melodies already in his head, shaking around. And then we take it from there. So Bjrn come up with the chords and the melodies, and we do the lyrics together. So that's basically it, Bjrn.
Yeah,
that's the process, right?
Yeah, from the beginning. Then Hal comes in.
And then Hal comes in the picture.
Hal comes in third.
His mad touch, so to speak, and that's the way it is. Yeah.
There's a quite distinct part of the process here as well, in that everything is recorded with top-notch equipment. So we spend a lot of effort in getting the quality of the recording really, really good. So that when we put it into computer, when I come into the picture and everything goes into the computer project, we have the best possible sounds. And that's something that is super important, that we feel some bands are sort of neglecting a bit. They're quick to jump into the computer and do everything to the plugs and so on, but we actually record it through the old vintage gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we use
Marshall amplifiers,
two preamps for the vocals.
Is that right? Interesting.
Guitar, microphones. So it's all tube stuff all the way.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it makes
really
a big difference.
That is a big difference, yeah.
You get a broader spectrum and a warmer sound, right?
Correct, yeah. You get the more the ambient feel to the songs as well, which usually the small subtleties in your songs is actually on top of the opening cut on the album. You have a little bit of sitar going on as the opening part of the song, and again, those little touches you have throughout your songs with the keyboards and the synths. It's just really, I find it's just a really nice touch.
Cool.
It's well done. In fact, you guys, everything you do is actually kind of in-house, amongst the members. You're producing yourself, you're engineering, sound engineering, writing the songs, and so forth. So that's very impressive what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, we like to work like 3-dimensional. So
yes,
it's
you're multi-dimensional.
Really important that the sound is big, but still it's very it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Now let's talk about what your videos. You guys have 3 videos out right now, and I see you guys have Mickey D from Motorhead in the videos. How do you guys meet him first off, and how do you guys coordinate to have him on your videos as well?
Well, I've known Mickey since we were kids, right, in Gothenburg.
Is that right?
Yeah, I grew up in Gothenburg, so we were connected in the same rock scene in Gothenburg. So we hung out over the years. And I just come up with an idea and I asked Bjrn, should we ask Mickey to come down and lay down some tracks? And Bjrn said, yeah, ask him. And he said, hell yeah, I'm coming down if you buy Mickey, Mickey, if you cares. So Mickey came down and we laid down the tracks and I asked him, do you want to do, he was invited to our videos as well. And he jumped, he had some time off from Scorpions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we got connected with Mickey. I know him since we were kids.
Interesting. Would he ever actually come on one of the songs in the future, you think?
Excuse me, I didn't hear.
As a guest guitarist on one of the songs?
A guest guitarist?
Yeah, with Mickey D on guitar.
On drums, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Could happen the next record, possibly, eh?
You never know.
Who knows?
That's the thing also, when we spent a lot of time, that's why the first album took a bit of time as well to set up the music production ecosystem just the way we wanted to, because that also gave us a lot of flexibility and opportunity for ideas moving forward. We can do anything we want here. So yeah, as far as collaborations, you never know, right? It could be
very true. Yeah, very true. So it's all in house, like I say. It's a great setup you guys got there. Yeah, it's fantastic. Excellent. You guys asked two guys about the video for Devil's Calling. As far as the creative process, is that creative process? Are you guys involved in the creative process? How does it work for you guys actually making the videos?
It's the same principle there. We do everything. Bjrn writes the.
I'm guilty again.
Yeah, he writes the whole theme of the ideas, and he call up the actors and stuff. Isn't that right, Hal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Bjrn is even a mastermind also in
the
video.
Mastermind of invasion.
Of course, we get film companies to come and film it with cameras and equipment, because that we don't know how to do, of course. But everything is laid out before they start the camera, so to speak.
And then we review it, of course, obviously. So when the finished product,
and the cutting
everybody's happy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
The concept comes from Bjrn.
Yeah, he does.
He does it all.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
And there's a new video coming out soon as well, right?
Oh, is it gonna be a fourth video coming out?
August 27 is the title track off the album. That's the big one.
Yeah,
nice.
The video is going to be released. Yeah.
So that's the third one that Mickey's in of the videos.
Yeah, Mickey's on that one too. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, back over to Mark.
So Mickey's still playing with the Scorpions, is it?
Yeah,
he is.
They're releasing an album in what? December?
No, it's going to be in February.
In February
next year.
He's just been to
a rehearsal for live tour right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, he's been in a lot of interesting projects throughout the years. There's no question about it. And it's interesting for me to hear that he grew up that he's from Sweden. I always thought he was Greek. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, he is Greek.
Oh, he is.
But he grew up in Sweden, yeah.
Okay, right on. Yeah. So Bjrn, like I'm hearing that you're sort of the genesis of the tracks come from you. How involved are you with the arrangements of the other instruments? How much freedom do the other guys in the band have to play what they want over what you write?
Totally.
They can do whatever.
They can do whatever.
Excellent.
That's not true.
I'm working really close with Pete in the studio, but otherwise it's okay with me. I only give some directions, but not more.
So the instrumentalists are free to arrange it, that's excellent. Yeah. I think bands work best that way. You let the individual instrumentalists do what they do,
I'm a guitar player. Should I tell the bass player what to play? No, forget about it.
But a lot of them do.
Yeah. You're right, Mark. They do.
Sometimes it's the lead singer. They have what we say over here, LSD, lead singer disease. It's when the singer tells everybody what to do and never helps carry the gear or anything. That's why I'm a singer. I don't want to carry anything.
He doesn't want those jobs. No way.
I don't want to set anything up. Now, you're from an engineering background. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. A keyboard player.
Oh, Hal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Hal. I forgot your name.
All right.
You have an engineering background?
Actually, I have no technical training or anything. So Bjrn and I think that's one of the reasons also why we came together the way we did, because we both rely heavily on our musical ear, and we've sort of learned everything from the basics just by learning by doing, iteratively, just developing over the years. So that's my background as well.
Okay.
No classical schooling or anything technical, just evolving as, with age and just playing.
Now, when you're recording, do you bring in an outside engineer, or are you doing that, Hal?
No, we're doing it.
We do it together.
You guys are all doing it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we have the Mad Invasion studio, the big one here, and then we have a smaller studio where I spend a lot of time, and we do like the parallel production and pre-production and post-production stuff. So these two work quite closely together. So that's where Bjrn and I work a bit closer with the production and the final sound and these kinds of things.
Okay. Now you had mentioned, working with, tube instruments and, Marshalls and Les Pauls and all of that. When you're actually recording, are you doing any analog recording to tape, or are you just doing it in the box, like we say, with Pro Tools? Is there a mix of both? What do you use to get your sounds?
No, it's analog, but of course we put it down on a digital track. So, but it's analog.
Yeah.
Okay, so you use like 2.5-inch tape or whatever, and then put it in the box so that you can punch and do things with the computer.
Basically.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And how much live tracking do you guys do together? And how much, are you guys layering tracks? Like, for example, the last record I did, we had pre-production tracks. We put it to a click. Bobby went in and did his drums, and we layered the tracks. We haven't made all our records that way, but that's how we made the last one. What was your process like?
Yeah. Well, it's more like that, actually.
Yeah.
Because we feel that, and I think you feel the same way. But when you're doing your thing as an instrumentalist or vocalist, you want to focus solely on that, right? So when each person can do it in their own time, we have the studio, we can do it. If we don't feel like it one day, then we don't do it. If we have the perfect flow one day, we might do 2 or 3 songs, right? But that person is in there is total focus. And so it's one person at a time, but when we always keep in mind the end result, and we're very keen to also, when we come to the later stages in the process, to make sure that we have that band sound that we want. So it's you can hear almost the band playing it together, even if we're not.
Yeah,
but that's kind of.
Are you guys? I'm sorry.
No, sorry. It's like a technology thing, where you can do it that way today. So it's good to do. That
way you don't get the bleed of other instruments on other people's tracks too, and things like that. So no, I get it. I was just curious because it does sound like a tight band is playing. So you're pulling it off. I was curious if how much of that. Now, are you guys all there for each other's tracks, or is it like, it's my turn today, the other guys aren't here, or are you all kind of together and present generally?
Actually, when I do the vocals, I want to be alone in the studio. So Bjrn and I, he's producing my vocals, of course. And one thing that we tried out just to get my vocals a little bit heavier, I put down the vocal tracks with electric guitar and a click track. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing. And it felt really good, because it was so naked, and it was so rough, and it was so raw.
No effects on the vocals.
Nothing. So it's just Les Paul, a click track for the tempo, and my lead vocals, totally rough, and I loved it. I never done it before. You're a singer, right, Mark? So everything is in place. Drums, harmony, vocals, keyboards, guitar solos, and then you come in and do your thing, right?
Yeah.
So we did it the other way around, and it turned out pretty good for me anyway.
Did you find that your vocal performance, since it was already there, informed what some of the other instrumentalists did, that perhaps they played a little differently because they were influenced by what you had there? Do you think it had that type of effect?
Maybe you have something there, because most of the times they come in and do the music, and then the singer comes in at the end.
Yeah.
So probably you're right. They got some influences of this is what do you say?
Yeah, there are some parts definitely where when we sit with the pre-production and work with the arrangements, you can hear, okay, Pete did this thing here. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's follow with the arrangements and build it up and support it more, or tone it down to let him stick out more. So definitely there's a correlation.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my guys about this, because a lot of times, by the time they get to me, they took up all the space, and I don't have any space to work in, And sometimes it's what you don't play that's important to provide that type of space. Like guys like Paul Rogers need that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending upon what vibe you're going for. So that's a cool idea, man. That's really neat.
You should try it.
I'm sorry?
You should try. He said
you try it.
You should try it.
I'm going to tell him, Bad Invasion says do it this way.
Yeah.
This record sounds great.
Way. That's right. You tell them.
That's right.
Put them in their place. Well, let me ask you guys, after making your debut album, so what sort of lessons you guys learned about yourselves, individually as musicians or as a band, after making the record? What kind of lessons you guys learned from that, after making the record, Edge of the World?
I mean, there are a couple of things that stick out to me, at least, and one of them is that take your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being patient.
As particularly if you're a new band, if you want to find your sound and your thing, then don't be afraid to take the time to actually let it evolve, and you get there without stressing. Because for us, I think that has been one of the key things that makes it feel so much better now. When we have an album, we took our time, we're all happy with it. That's a great starting point for whatever's to come. So that's definitely one thing that sticks out for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way, because there's been no stress, The record company's up your riding you, and the producer is late and he can't do it this week. You have to wait 2 weeks because he's occupied with another production. There's been no stress like that at all during this production, for me anyway. So like you said, we've been able to take our time.
Right.
And that's a good thing. Anyway, for me also.
And the second part also, I think you'll agree with this, but we control the whole production ecosystem. Since we can do everything ourselves, we're totally self-reliant. That gives us the flexibility and the freedom that we didn't used to have when we, never been used to have. Recorded by record labels and on their time and on their terms.
Well, I always had a time, because this is my fourth studio.
So, is that your fourth studio? Oh,
yeah. I think it's the fourth or the fifth. I don't know.
Lost count somewhere here.
I have been working in studios for like 40 years. So for me, there's a lot of time. But of course, we took our time on this album just to make sure that we were going in the same direction. And we had a good feeling about the album and the sound and all the songs. So no hurry.
Yeah,
no, that's good attitude to have, for sure. Yeah, taking your time, being patient with it all, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what kind of challenges you guys have, like for you, like being in your position where you have the freedom, but is it tougher for you guys to get your message out there to the masses? You have a tough time getting that message out to the people, the mass scale. Like, what are your challenges for you guys right now in your position, being a new band on the scene?
Yeah, I mean, a lot has happened since we used to do stuff with our bands before, because all the technology and all the digital.
So changed.
I've worked a lot in marketing and in my daytime job and so corporate, and so much has changed when it comes to marketing as well, right? So now we're doing all this digital marketing, which is kind of new for us, but it's like a new door is opened, and you just have to, relearn some stuff actually.
Yeah.
And see how can you use those channels and really create an impact. And it's different. Some things are a bit different. But we're getting some help with some good PR agencies and marketeers. So it's
which is essential today. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but it's an interesting area for sure. So I wouldn't say challenges. It's more like opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities. Yeah. Well, you find the opportunity in the challenges. I would
Yeah.
say, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
again, you have a great attitude about how you look at things.
We try
really well
to
done.
take the glasses
Yeah,
full.
half full rather than being half empty. I love the attitude, boys. I love the attitude for sure. Well, back over to Mark for a run of time.
Yeah, one thing I was interested in knowing is, you know, for me during the pandemic, right, we were almost done with an album. All of a sudden, we couldn't get in the studio anymore. It sucked. One way I took advantage of it was doing live stream shows, which I had never done before. And I took advantage of, you know, getting out and playing shows, you know, on the internet, because no matter where anybody is, they can see you. And I have a feeling live stream shows like that are something that that might outlast, or probably will outlast, the pandemic, even though it was sort of a necessary evil at first.
Right.
I want to know how you guys feel about that, about doing live stream shows and exposure over the internet, not just things like this, but things where you're actually playing.
That's a big opportunity as well.
Yeah.
That's come out.
I'm all for playing live with the crowd, you know, screaming ladies and stuff like that. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
But of course, like you say, Hal, it's you have to adapt and survive, so to speak, about this live stream. I think it's going to survive the pandemic too, like you said, Mark.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a combination of different channels moving forward. It feels like that, at least. So I mean, you can still have the live gig with, you know, the ladies and the fans.
Yes.
And then stream it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So
well, the ladies are in the important. You know, it's funny that you say that, because I have a friend that's really into Rush, and I think Rush is great, but there's no chicks at the concert at all.
Never.
And I mean, what happens is
only musicians.
Yeah,
that's right. Only musicians.
That's right.
Or the rock geeks.
It's but you go to a Guns N' Roses concert, you know, it's a good ratio. It's a proper ratio, right? Yeah. So, is there, when you guys write songs, not just for girls, but is there a commercial consideration when you do your writing over you know, technical prowess?
No, not at all. I think none at all.
No, we don't look at it that way. I mean, it's not trying to be commercial to appeal to a broad audience. No. It's more about trying to have good melodies that we like and that we feel that we have a good hook or a good connection to. And if it feels hooky to us, we're hoping that it will feel hooky to other people as well. But it's not that commercial. Oh, we gotta have it this way because, you know.
So you're writing songs that you want to hear, and you hope that other people like them. But you're doing this for yourselves at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Now, this is a question I ask a lot of singers, particularly somebody with the clean type of power that you have 30 years into a career. What do you do to see, because people think it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but you don't sound the way you sound 30 years into a career if you don't take care of yourself. So what do you do to take care of yourself and maintain your voice?
It's kind of boring, so to speak, but I eat properly, I sleep good, I do power walks, I go to the gym. That's the way you have to do it if you're going to still be around 30 years in your career. Like you said, Mark, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, all nice, fun and play when you're in your early 20s.
That's right.
That's not any, no. So I have to do all the steps, you know, good night's sleep, healthy food, go to the gym, do my power walks. I have to admit it.
Yeah, well, when we had Gil from Triumph on a few weeks ago, and he was saying the same thing. I think he's about 70, and he's, you know, he said the guys in Triumph treat it like it's an athletic endeavor, because in order to perform in such a dynamic way with such powerful music, it is almost like athletics.
Right? Yeah, I totally agree. You have to think about whatever you do, you know. Oh, I stayed out late, you know, my voice doesn't work today, you know. Why? Yeah, I didn't go to bed early, you know, I had a good night's sleep. I wasn't rested. I haven't eaten properly, just some hamburgers, and I didn't have the time. The voice doesn't work, you know, so you have to take care of yourself, you know. Like you said.
And I think it's important to, you know, to treat every show like it's the most important show you have, because somebody comes to see you today, you don't have a good show, they're not going to come see you again, you know?
No, of course, no.
And we also had a guest on the show not too long ago that said, folks can hear you by buying the record. They don't need to buy a ticket to hear you. They buy a ticket to come see you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to treat the audience with respect, you know, at all times. Not one good show here or one good show there. You have to treat every audience with respect, total respect, you know, and give them the performance of their lives. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah, that's why you guys are able to make a living at this, you know, in this time when you know, it's not easy. And I'll tell you, here in the States, what's interesting is you'll look at the record charts and you'll see a lot of hip hop and pop and things like that on the radio charts. So the radio is supporting those genres. But if you look at the highest grossing tours, it's rock.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
rock fans are loyal. They're loyal fans.
That's
you
well
know?
put. That's well put, Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you guys have to be doing something right to have longevity in your career. That's great to hear. The music has power, and powerful rock music, let's face it, it is a youthful thing. It's a youthful sounding thing. When you can escape the years in ways, that's to your benefit. So kudos to you guys on that for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. No, back to you, bro.
Certainly, man. I was going to ask you guys, what's been your greatest or biggest highlight so far in your journey together as Mad Invasion? What would be your biggest highlight so far?
I mean, we're quite a new band, so we don't have a lot.
Yeah, I know you are.
but I think
It doesn't happen that much.
No, what I mean the whole recording experience and feeling that things are starting to come together. And
yeah, I would think that'd be more the case.
That was one of the things. And for me also, obviously, recording three videos, Mickey D, a special guest, that was quite fun. And he's such a great guy around with, you know, so many cool stories and a lot of laughs and stuff. So that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Highlights?
I don't think I have any highlights. It's highlight.
You don't?
Well, building the studio and getting that ready.
I'm working.
You built it.
Yeah, I mean that studio's quite a highlight right there, and that debut album is quite a highlight too.
Yeah,
it's very good, very good. Well, yes, guys, a little bit of a speed question here. Some Clubb Track speed questions here, real fast questions. Okay. It's like this, here, guys. So, who do you guys prefer? Would you guys prefer Beatles or Stones?
Stones.
Beatles. So Pete saying Beatles, yeah?
Stones.
Stones?
Yeah.
Stones. Okay, very good, very good. Next up, Judas Priest or Iron Maiden?
Judas Priest.
Yeah, that'd be my call too. Judas Priest, right on. Exactly. Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath.
Yes, very, very appropriate answer for this show today. This heavy metal rocking show. Les Paul or Ibanez?
Les Paul.
Yeah, of course, Les Paul. Of course, that's an easy one right here, hands down across the board. Another easy one here too. Marshall amps versus Vox.
What do you mean? You're not
Vox
using
more for
30s?
vintage quality. But Marshall is, of course, the way to go, folks.
Yeah.
Boys and girls, Marshall is the way to go. What was the best album ever, boys? What was the best album ever? Ooh, tough question.
Hair of the Dog, Nazareth.
Oh, Nazareth, yeah. Good one.
I have to say Mob Rules with Dio Sabbath.
Oh, Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, 81. Nice. Hal?
I mean, for me, I'm gonna rewind a bit more. Our experience with Jimi Hendrix has got to be
Jimi Hendrix's debut.
Profound effect on me.
That was an awesome album, that's for sure. And a life-changing record, I think, for myself too when I first heard that one. Easy quiz. It's quite an easy one right here. Playing live or studio. Yeah, it's
live.
That's pretty easy.
Live.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Pepsi.
Oh, yeah, just leave some diversity there. Not that one there. David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
Sammy Hagar.
David Lee
Roth.
Okay, Sammy Hagar.
But you, Mark, what would you call that one?
Well, I see. My answer is not that easy. I would say the recorded material. I prefer Dave, but he's a terrible live singer, and Sammy's got him live.
Oh, so true. He's horrible live.
Yeah,
he's not in the same key. He's not in the same key as the rest.
I love him. It's no disrespect, but every time I've seen him, it's like if it's a contest about who could kick the highest, David Lee Roth wins. But if it's about singing, it's Sammy. You know.
100%. Sammy's a great singer, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great rock singer. Superb. And what would be the best album of 2021, boys? Tough one.
Well, this one's easy, guys.
This one's pretty easy, actually.
Of course.
Besides Animation.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes if you don't toot your own horn, there's no music, right?
That's
Maybe
right,
gotta be
man.
Mad Invasion.
No, definitely.
Mad Invasion is definitely the answer.
Yeah,
I gotta
of course.
say, this is a loaded record. Record. So where can people check out more on you guys on social media?
Well, both on Facebook and Instagram, we're Mad Invasion. Then we have our website, which is madinvasion.com. So there is all the information that's needed. Obviously, our YouTube channel as well, which is Mad Invasion also.
Excellent. And where can people get check out more information on your new record coming out on September 24th?
Yeah, in those places.
Same place as well. Very good. Very good.
Oh,
And one more little note, guys. So what's next for Mad Invasion after night? What's next for you guys? What's happening next for Mad
We're
Invasion?
continue working on the second album. So me and Bjrn are going to start with on a new song called "Welcome to the Show." That's just a working title, of course. So we're going to continue working on the second album.
Yeah.
And then
Which is more of a concept-based record. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're getting ready also, like we said, to prepare for live by doing like a test show during winter. So, but that's a whole different project because then it's all the live production, and we have some interesting takes on the live performance as well. That's going to be a bit different. So it doesn't stop with the album. It's going to be also into the live scene.
It continues on stage.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah. No, that's great. That's excellent. Well, hey guys, it's a real pleasure having the show tonight. Real pleasure meeting you boys. And once again, that's a great, superb debut record. Well done.
Great to meet
Good
you.
to see you guys, man. Let me know if you guys are coming to the States, man. I'll do anything I can to support you. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. My pleasure,
Yeah,
guys. I love the record.
Yeah, we love the record, and love to have you guys back on the show again sometime soon when your second record is about to come out. We'd love to have you guys back on the show and talk about it further.
Great.
Yes, thanks again. So everyone, thanks again for watching the show, and thanks to, of course, Bjrn, Pete, and Hal of Mad Invasion dropping by the show here tonight, talking with us about the new record. And of course, folks, you only folks at home, thanks for watching the show as well. Thanks, folks. We'll see you real soon. Take care. All the best.
Be good, guys. God bless.
God bless. All the best.
Cheers.